Welcome to Riverbanks and Flow. I want to talk to you for a minute about all of the work that you've put into getting your business online. So many of you have a program or a book or some beautiful, passionate project that you want to get online and create a business. And, most of us think that a business is like climbing a mountain or building a skyscraper. We get directions, we get instructions from people. We, do our best to put one foot up that step after another. We get some blueprints maybe. They even call it blueprints online. And the truth is that creating a business, creating a successful business, learning how to serve people with something that you love, that they're willing to pay for, is more like playing golf. Jeff Walker, the author of Launch, says something really profound, and this is important, and I'm going to come back to this. But he says, so if, even a beginner can play golf. They hit the ball, and they don't hit it right toward the hole, usually. It goes this way or that way, or it can even go backwards a little bit, and then they just keep going. And eventually, he says, everybody gets that ball in the hole. And so will you. So will you. Now, it will take a beginner many more swings. It might take me twice as many swings as somebody like Jeff Walker, who has a lot of experience. But I promise you, it took him that long too. And this is especially true for online businesses. If you're offline, you're building a building, people are driving by, it's a whole different thing, right? You've actually got a space that it happens in. When you're online, it's very nuanced. There's all these little movements to make. One of the things Jeff Walker says is that you can't make those adjustments to your swing, to the direction, to body stance, whatever it is. I don't play golf, so I'm sure it's all of those things. You can't make an adjustment until you take a swing. That's a huge key. Now I'm going to switch metaphors for a second because it's more like sailing. Golfing is like sailing. You don't head straight for where you're going. You have to go like this and like this because of the wind, right? The wind might be one day pointing straight at where you want to go, but most of the time it's not. I'm also not a sailor, but I kind of know how it works. Now, let's continue this metaphor a little bit. If you want to get somewhere in this ship, which is you and your life and what you love and what you're good at, then it really makes sense to get a map and a compass. And the map kind of shows you the terrain. Like, what is it that you need? In this case, let's use something specific, like you need some way to collect money. You need some way to give the person what it is you're offering, right? Just basic stuff like that. Those are the Riverbanks. You also need to know how to express yourself, how to make it clear. That's more like the flow. So that's the map. That's sort of the terrain, what it is that you need, what it looks like out there, where the pitfalls are, where the mountains are, that kind of thing, right? And then the compass, or I know, on ships they don't use a compass, they use a sextant, which is like a triangular-y kind of compassy thing. It's how they look at the horizon and guide by the stars. So I really like it. Let's give you a sextant instead then. But that sextant is the person who maybe has created the map because they've been there, but also can tell you. And what that tells you, what that compass or that sextant or whatever tells you, where you are hang with me here for a second. The compass tells you where you are in relation to your goal, which in this case is the North Star, right? And the terrain. Amazing, isn't it? So those things are things you want to buy. You want to listen to other people. It's not as cut and dried as that. You can take a wandery path if you want to. You can in the ocean too, I would imagine. You definitely can when you're hiking, or what's that called where you spelunk the land? I don't know. With just a map and a compass. So you have a map and a compass. And lots of people that I know struggle with me over, no, I want to do it my way. I don't want that map and that compass. And what they're really struggling with me over is how they get there. And even where they're going. Because we're not talking about going across the ocean. So there is no set North Star. You get where I'm going here? The North Star is your goal. You know, beautiful, wonderful, amazing Martha Beck uses the North Star. She calls it the destination, the paradise, the place you're going. But where are you going? You know, if you were to listen to, now I'm going to use this phrase because a wonderful woman named Kimber Luna used it today. I think it's hilarious. She calls them the bro marketers. She used some other disparaging term that I won't use, but you know those guys who get on and they tell you, hey, look at me, I've got my Lamborghini and I'm a bro marketer. And to them, the North Star is always the same. It's $1 million. Period. But we're women and we're artists and we're healers and we're spelunking our hearts and our inner landscape, and we're serving, and we're listening to the voice of the wind and the universe. So to me, the place you're going is where your skills and desires and needs and wants and dreams intersect with what people want from you, what people will pay for from you, where the desire is. Now we're creating a lot of new and interesting ways to serve, and maybe that person doesn't know exactly what they want. So you're going to have to help them understand. And that's why it's more difficult for a healer or an artist or a coach or a spiritual leader. It's called a knowledge gap. You have to, you know, the person who's going in to get her teeth cleaned says, I need my teeth cleaned. But you're trying to sell her something she doesn't understand. So remember, when it's frustrating, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you don't know if you want to go on, if this is your work, if this is your passion, you can get there. You will get there. We don't know how many swings it's going to take, but you can get some help, and some sisters along the path will show you the lay of the land. Make a commitment and keep swinging. Keep looking at those stars, whatever your North Star is. I promise you. If you like these videos where we talk about the riverbanks and your flow, then you can put your email address in the link below, and I'll send them to you every week.